Well, hello again. It's Debbie Gilbert here with Igot Communities, and today I'm going to be talking about leaving a legacy and the importance of being selfless, which can be selfish in a way, just so that you can leave a legacy, and about the importance of giving to others. So, I just want to share this from my heart. And I've got to share this with so many wonderful people. I'm such a dreamer and such a believer in humanity, and I've been so fortunate to do so many things that I've loved and enjoyed, and I've met hundreds of people that have become wonderful friends that just live all over the United States and in a few other countries. And so in these later years, there is more of an urgency to make a difference, to leave a legacy, to leave the world in a good place. It's not about being great. It's not about fame. It's not about anything that when people look at it, that they recognize the person who started something that serves others. But it's more about how that people are just benefited from something that you have started or something that you did recognize would be helpful to all humanity. And so today, I realize that I don't think about time ending really soon. I've always said that I've literally prayed to live to be 120. It's just that I love life so much, but I still am aware. I'm still acutely aware, actually, that more than ever before, I have less time than I've had in the future. So being aware of this has made my latter choices and my latter days even more clear, and my goals more clear about what I want to do as far as teaching others, teaching my grandchildren, helping other people achieve their dreams and what they really fantasize about doing in this life. So one of the legacies that I want to leave behind is that I loved people and I did things that could help them realize their dreams, and that I taught them things that were beneficial, and that I brought together community and communities of people. So leaving a legacy is part of what drives me toward my goals now. I have had wonderful mentors and teachers in my life that came before me. I had wonderful parents and grandparents, amazing family members, aunts, uncles. I had just phenomenal school teachers that have left an impression on me. I didn't play sports, so some people would say they've had coaches, but I do feel like I've had coaches in my life. I've had some great women in my life who've just, some of them just said one or two things that have made all of the difference. I recognize that we have had great people in our history who have done things and said things that changed the world for a lot of people. I think about people like Rosa Parks, and I think about people like Martin Luther King. I always think about dreams and dreaming and following dreams. I've had friends who have impacted me. I've had pastors who have impacted me. And so literally everything that we do and say either promotes good or it promotes evil or bad things. And so there's people also that I will never know who have had a profound impact on the life that I live and the work that I do. So So leaving a legacy, it can be anywhere from, like I said, leaving something bad to the world or something very good. It all depends on how we choose to live our life on a daily basis. And so it's critically important. So I'm doing this series on leaving a legacy because with Igot Communities, it was very much a dream, but it came to pass. I formed Igot Communities in late 2019, and really as a part of a school project where I was working on my doctorate, and someone in a class that I was in challenged the class that we would do things and that could literally change the world, that we could form organizations that literally could change the world for the good. And so I've always loved senior adults, and I decided that I wanted to work with senior adults in my older age. Maybe part of it is just because I'm older myself, but the thing is, this all started actually in about, early 2019, late spring, early summer. I actually formed the company in August of 2019 and had began doing some traveling to senior expos, working in senior communities where a lot of senior people live in apartment complexes and subdivisions, and lo and behold, then in February we were shut down because of the pandemic. And I now see it all as a magnificent and wonderful plan, a dream placed in my heart, I believe, by God, because we had to go online and see people using Zoom. We had to connect on Zoom, and then things just took off from there. So as I think about leaving a legacy, I think it's a part of an ongoing, wonderful foundation of life that we live. So it's part of what we do while we're here. But then after we're gone, those who come after us, it's something we want to leave for them so that it's better, because we are stewards in the world. I believe each of us have a calling on our lives, and I believe the calling really is that we do things to leave it better than we found it. And it only takes a little change, like I said, sometimes it only takes a word, a profound word that seems small at the time, but can change the future forever. So first of all, leaving a legacy is part of an ongoing foundation of the world that we live in. The other thing about leaving a legacy, we either leave it for the good or we can leave it for the bad, because there's been lots of people in the world who have changed our world, who've opened up new worlds for other people, who have helped other people reach new heights, and who have helped people surely to reach goals and dreams that they could not or would not had it not been for the person or the organization that we're working with and involved in. And so likewise, even though you can leave good, there's been lots of people we know in our history who have done things that have caused a lot of pain and a lot of time of devastation that sometimes never heals. And so if we think about ourselves as individuals, as husbands and wives first, we can leave a wonderful legacy for marriage, or we can live in a marriage and do things that completely tear down marital values And it causes those who come behind us to look at how we've lived and what we've done in marriage, for them to do some of the things, the good that we've done, or to do some of the bad. Parents, we can either bless or curse our children. We can encourage them. Our children are like reeds in the wind. And we can find out where their hearts are, where their talents are, what their personality is leaning toward and into, and the way they're actually called toward purpose. And we can help them. We can help them go toward that which they're called to do. Or we can selfishly try to bend them back. And sometimes, a reed can flow pretty easily, but if you bend it back too far from the way it's supposed to go, then it can break. And so we can affect our children in a positive way to help them grow in the way that they have been fashioned, the way that they have been designed. Or we can stubbornly decide what we want to do, what we want them to do in their life, and we can bend them back the wrong way and break their spirit. So leaving a legacy can be for something great and good for all mankind, or it can be for the bad. And so it's something to think about. The other thing about leaving a legacy is it's an act of responsibility. It's a great responsibility, actually, to choose to leave a positive legacy. And so if we're going to leave a positive legacy, then we have to make decisions in our life. We have to make moral obligations that we keep to ourselves. I once heard someone who was given an amazing speech, a motivational speech, say, we set up our own moral obligations, and we should. And the thing about setting up your own moral obligations is you have to police those yourself. So if you break those, sometimes nobody ever even knows that you broke it. And so there's nobody to get on to you, to fire you, to police you, to say you're good, to say you're bad. But every night we get to sleep with ourselves. And this same person also said, every night we may go to bed with somebody, but we really sleep by ourselves. We sleep in our own mind. And so part of leaving a legacy is to set up your own personal moral obligations, those things that you believe in with all of your heart. And then it's your job to police those on a daily basis. And so I believe that a part of what really makes us good or honorable or respected is having just a foundational part of our own lives based on the goal of leaving a legacy. It's a plan to do something that ends well. Another thing that I think leaving a legacy is important for is because we begin to act on behalf of others, and we, from a maybe biblical standpoint, we begin to believe that we are like broken bread and poured out wine, that we are here for the good of other people, that we are selfless, and that we no longer are just in this for all that we can get in this world and then we die. But we think about what's going to benefit others, even if I have to sacrifice doing that. So, lots of people attain great wealth and they store it up. And of course, when we die, and your wealth is wherever you left it. So you can leave it and people can fight over it. You can leave it for great causes. that will benefit other people. You can leave buildings with your names on them, and but eventually we all die, and it doesn't take very long, in fact, when you've lived a selfish life, for people to soon forget the things that you've done. But that's not the kind of legacy that I'm talking about here today. I'm talking about legacies that truly, truly will set the future up for great success, set people up for great success, and make life tremendously better for those who come after us. And our motive is really genuinely about helping others. So when we're gone, we're gone, and we won't be around to watch other people. But it's an amazing thing to think that you could do something today that would make someone else's life so much better tomorrow, or 10 years from now, or even just a year from now. But it's foundational to becoming someone who is not selfish, who is not greedy, but truly a wonderful steward of all that they've been blessed with. The other thing I think about leaving a legacy is it keeps us focused on a big picture that is much greater than ourselves. And it keeps us going long term, or staying the course. And it gives us values, actually, that we can judge all of our actions by, and ask the questions on a daily basis about why we do what we do. So it's the great things in life for the betterment of all people, I think, that helps us to think about bigger pictures and being a part of something big. Dreaming. Many times when I encourage people to dream, I encourage them not to dream on a personal level or on a family level, but to dream on all of the what ifs, that all humanity could be healthier, could be better, could be happier. And so when we were setting up Igot communities, part of that was the whole goal. So Igot communities stands for Independently Growing Older Together. And we know that the age group of 55 and older, and particularly 65 and older, is one of the fastest growing populations now in the country. And that the Centurion Club, people living over 100, is just one of the fastest growing groups of people ever, because we're a lot healthier. But as we age, other things happen. As we age, we are usually no longer working in our regular jobs that we were years ago. Friends are dying, family is dying, and so lots of times we're left long past our spouse, or sometimes even children, other family members, certainly parents. And so that's changing. Our health is changing, and even though we may plan to take really good care of our health, as you age, your health declines, cells in your body die, and so the aging population will eventually need more and more people to love them and to care for them. And so one of the questions that I've been trying to answer with Igot communities is, who will care for the aging? Who will care for them? And so that's one of the reasons why Igot communities exist today, because we wanted to pick up that banner or that torch and hold it as high as we can, and then pass it on to future generations, saying, I'll care for the aging. So, Igot Communities is simply a nonprofit organization that creates environments that are healthier, happier, and better places where individuals who are 55 and older actually thrive. You know, many people are surviving today in America and across the world. But the goal of Igot Communities is that people don't just survive, but they actually thrive. So some of the things that we do, what is Igot Communities? What do we do? Primarily today, we are a web-based organization. We use Zoom platforms to meet with senior adults almost every day of the week. One of the things that got us growing so quickly is we began playing online bingo with senior adults. And the programs that we do with senior adults are free, so they can get on and play for free. We have wonderful partners who also have a huge interest in the welfare of the aging and have a huge interest in caring for the aging. And so some of those partners provide us with support and finances that we can gift people. So in bingo every day we give away a gift card, and it's usually a food gift card from Kroger or an organization in their area that, you know, where they can go get food, fruits, healthy food. And so we may have 60 people play in a day, and one person's getting a $10 gift card. And that may not seem like a lot to a lot of people, but it's a whole lot to Igot Communities, and it's a whole lot to these senior adults, because when they hop on a daily basis and see each other face to face, they are laughing and sharing stories and connecting. And the biggest thing that's happening here is we are fighting loneliness that kills as you age. And we're fighting isolation that causes anxiety and depression. So playing bingo twice a day, 5 days a week, is one of the things that we do. We also have a time of storytelling, because we love to hear the stories that senior adults have. It's their stories, it's their lives, it's things that have happened to them in their jobs, in their families, in their travels. So it's just amazing to get on with them on Wednesdays at 11 and have them share their stories. It's also about education. Recently, one of our members, who is Jewish, got on, and we all hopped on a Zoom session that was very educational about Hanukkah. And so there were people who were in their 80s who had heard of Hanukkah, but they never knew the whole story. And so we have education on there. As we age, our spiritual health becomes important to us, because we're coming to the end of life and wondering what's going to happen in the life to come. So spirituality is very important to the aging. And so on Mondays, we have someone who leads with some Bible study, and always welcoming new people to lead groups. We have coming up for New Year's Eve, we have a new member and partner in South Korea who's going to be celebrating. It will be almost midnight there when we're doing our morning just before bingo session here. But they're going to be on with us talking about their culture and how they celebrate New Year's in South Korea. We have friends in Alaska and Utah and Texas and Florida and New York, and just people all across the United States who are coming on board, connecting and sharing with senior adults all over the United States and the world. And so what started as just a small organization in a small community in Kentucky has now gone to an international community of people that we just love and care for deeply. And so, how can you help become a part of Igot communities, and how can you become a part of this legacy? Well, there's lots of ways that you can help. One of the biggest things that we need is we need volunteers who can lead groups of seniors to talk about travel, to talk about health issues and topics. We need doctors. We need attorneys who can answer legal questions about trust and wills and this and end of life decision making questions and things like that. We need nurses who can help senior adults just with questions and answers that they have about wound care and how to fall prevention. There's just all kinds of things. And then we need people who can teach yoga and exercise with us, and people who love to do arts and sing and do crafts. And so we're looking for volunteers every single day. Maybe those are not things that you feel like you can do. We're looking for people who want to support our nonprofit financially, and we manage everything we do on a shoestring because, like I said, we offer all that we do to senior adults for free. All the programming is free to them, but the prizes aren't. And so you can help by giving to us financially and taking a tax deduction for doing so. So maybe you want to donate, and you can do that. You can become an annual giver and supporter. You can go to our website. On the front page, we have a donate button. You can give a one-time gift. And I always encourage our seniors, even though our program is free to them, they can donate. We donate all the time to all kinds of organizations and programs, and we give to Police Alliance and Fire Alliance and to children's homes and to hospitals and Salvation Armies. Churches, we give lots of places. And so this is just a great place to sow into a community where the number of members is growing faster than any one organization can take care of. So part of leaving a legacy is not only about serving, but it is also about giving. So with that being said, and as Christmas approaches, and as the new year approaches, as you're thinking about how you want to live the rest of your life, I hope you'll take the time to think about what you can do on a small part or a great part to leave a legacy to our world, to our children, to our senior adults, to everybody who comes before you and after you. What can you do that will leave this world better, happier, and healthier for all humanity? So until I see you again, I would say to you, just keep living, set a goal, reach a dream, and I'll see you later.